The 1980s didn't just have a look, it had a scent. Bold, romantic, mysterious, and unforgettable. Whether you were cruising the mall, heading to prom, or just trying to impress someone in homeroom, your fragrance said everything. So grab your jean jacket, crank up the mixtape, and let's dive into 17 iconic 80s fragrances that defined a decade full of style, attitude, and a whole lot of hairspray. Number 1, Giorgio Beverly Hills, 1981. Walk into any mall in the 80s, and chances are this fragrance found you before you found it. Giorgio was loud, floral, and unforgettable, just like the decade itself. Its signature yellow and white box was a statement all on its own. Wearing Giorgio meant turning heads, and that's exactly what it was made for. It didn't whisper, it announced you. Number 2, Chanel Coco, 1984. Chanel Coco wasn't just perfume, it was attitude in a bottle. Rich, spicy, and elegant, it captured the drama and glamour of the 1980s. This wasn't for the faint of heart. It was for the woman who knew what she wanted and wasn't shy about it. One spritz and you felt like you belonged at a candlelit dinner in Paris, even if you were just headed to the grocery store. Number 3, Yves Saint Laurent Paris, 1983. Paris by YSL was romance bottled. Soft, floral, and unmistakably feminine, it wrapped you in a cloud of roses with just a hint of elegance. It was the scent of first dates, anniversary dinners, and handwritten love notes. Paris didn't shout, it whispered in French. Wearing it felt like walking through a garden in spring, heels clicking on cobblestones with love in the air. Number 4, Poison by Dior, 1985. Just the name was enough to raise eyebrows. Poison was dark, bold, and a little dangerous. And that's exactly why it became iconic. With notes of plum, berries, and spicy amber, it didn't just enter a room, it took over. Girls who wore Poison weren't blending in. They were making an entrance. It was drama, mystery, and allure, all in one unforgettable spray. Number 5, Obsession by Calvin Klein, 1985. Obsession wasn't just a fragrance, it was a mood. Deep, musky, and full of spice and amber. It wrapped around you like a secret you couldn't shake. The ads were intense, provocative, and so was the scent. It lingered on sweaters, car seats, and memories. One spritz, and suddenly it was summer at midnight, the radio low, and your heart racing just a little too fast. Number 6, Drakkar Noir by Guy Laroche, 1982. Every guy I knew had a bottle of Drakkar. It was bold, dark, and just a little mysterious, like confidence in a matte black bottle. You'd splash on too much, throw on a denim jacket, and suddenly feel like you own the night. With notes of lavender, leather, and spice, it was the scent of first dates, school dances, and trying just a little too hard. Number 7, Fahrenheit by Dior, 1988. Fahrenheit didn't play by the rules. It was leathery, smoky, and had this strange magnetism you couldn't quite explain. The red-orange bottle looked like fire, and it smelled just as bold. One spray felt like stepping into a rebellious dream. Fast cars, late nights, and ambition burning bright. If Drakkar was cool, Fahrenheit was dangerous, and we loved every drop of it. Number 8, Cool Water by Davidoff, 1988. This was the scent of freedom, crisp, clean, and effortlessly cool. With notes of mint, lavender, and seawater, Cool Water smelled like a fresh dive into the ocean. Every guy wanted it after gym class, or before asking someone out. It was beach bonfires, sun-faded jeans, and the wind in your hair. One spray and you were instantly cooler, even if you were nowhere near the coast. Number 9, Eternity by Calvin Klein, 1988. Eternity was soft, floral, and full of meaning, the scent of commitment, hope, and forever. It wasn't flashy, it was graceful. With notes of white lily, sandalwood, and fresh greenery, it smelled like weddings, quiet Sunday mornings, and love that actually lasted. If obsession was passion, eternity was promise. The kind of perfume you wore when you believed in happily ever after. Number 10, Exclamation by Cody, 1988. Make a statement without saying a word. If you grew up in the 80s, you heard that jingle. Exclamation was every teenage girl's go-to. Sweet, fruity, with just a hint of musk, it was fun, flirty, and totally unforgettable. The bottle looked like an actual exclamation point, bold and playful. One spritz and suddenly you were the coolest girl in homeroom, or at least you smelled like it. Number 11, Bijan for Men, 1987. Bijan was luxury with a capital L, rich, smooth, and unmistakably upscale. This cologne mixed lavender, musk, and oak moss into something that felt like pure confidence. It came in a round bottle, sleek, gold, and just as bold as the scent inside. Wearing Bijan meant you liked the finer things and didn't mind if people noticed. It wasn't subtle, and that was exactly the point. Number 12, Beautiful by Estee Lauder, 1985. Not every 80s scent had to be loud. Beautiful was delicate, floral, and filled with grace. It smelled like weddings, handwritten vows, and first dances under twinkle lights. With rose, lily, and a soft sandalwood base, it was elegance in its purest form. Spritz it on and suddenly everything felt a little more romantic, a little more timeless. Number 13, Opium by Yves Saint Laurent, 1977. Opium wasn't just a perfume, it was a scandal. Exotic, spicy, and full of mystery, it turned heads and sparked conversation. With cloves, myrrh, and rich florals, it was seductive and unapologetic. Wearing Opium felt like breaking the rules, and loving every second of it. It was bold, controversial, and completely unforgettable. Number 14, Chanel Antaeus, 1981. Antaeus was Chanel's answer to raw masculinity. Dark, intense, and unapologetically bold. With leather, sage, and patchouli, it didn't just smell strong, it felt powerful. This was the cologne of boardrooms and backrooms, of men who didn't flinch when the room got quiet. One spray and you weren't just wearing scent, you were wearing presence. Number 15, Samsara by Guerlain, 1989. Samsara was serenity with a splash of drama. Inspired by the East, it blended sandalwood, jasmine, and ylang-ylang into something rich, warm, and almost spiritual. It didn't just smell beautiful, it felt centered. Samsara was the fragrance of quiet confidence, of finding balance in a chaotic world. One breath, and suddenly, everything slowed down. Number 16, Cacharel Lulu, 1987. Lulu was sweet, dark, and just a little mysterious, like a fairy tale with an edge. With notes of plum, tuberose, and vanilla, it wrapped you in a velvety cloud that lingered all day. The blue bottle with its red cap looked like something from a storybook, and the scent inside was pure enchantment. Lulu wasn't loud, but it left an impression you didn't forget. Number 17, Givenchy Isatis, 1984. Isatis was elegance with a mysterious twist, floral, spicy, and just a bit exotic. With notes of mandarin, jasmine, and patchouli, it felt like slipping into something luxurious before a night out. This wasn't for everyday errands. Isadis was for candlelit dinners, jazz in the background, and a little mischief in the air. It was pure 1980s sophistication. With a wink. The 80s weren't subtle, and neither were their scents. Each of these fragrances told a story of first dates, bold dreams, and unforgettable nights. One whiff today, and you're right back there, standing in front of the mirror, music playing, heart racing. Thanks for taking this nostalgic journey with me. Which scent takes you back? Drop a comment below, and until next time, stay unforgettable.